very pleasant good morning and welcome. Parkway freeze invite as we are back here at the Walker Natatorium, Kirkwood High School, for a great day of swimming throughout. Be with you for the morning session today and then both sessions tomorrow. Of course, our sights and sounds brought to you courtesy of Kevin Girth. We want to give him a big thank you as we are just about set to go. Swimmers are out on the deck. Officials are surrounding the pool. All the last minute check-ins have been done and we are just about set to go. Now, a couple of things we are going to point out to you here early on. We're going to see a number of scratches here throughout the day. The Missouri side of the river, the girls are in high school season, so some of the high school girls who were initially on your heat sheet may not be here today. They may scratch out. We've got a couple of other ones. Of course, we're right in the middle of the COVID pandemic, so you'll see all those protocols in place throughout the swim meet. Part of that is sometimes swimmers, if they're not feeling well, they have elected to stay home or whatnot. But we're happy to bring you the action as we are just about set to go. We have our first race of the day. This is event number 7 on the meet. And this is a 4-heat, 200-yard individual medley. Lane number 1, it'll be Sophie Schmidt. It'll be Sydney Matheny in lane number 2. Shelby Bouchong in lane number 4 from the Tide Riders. Grace Ortle in lane number 5 from Metro East, along with her teammate Riley Curry, and then Sierra Graham and Cora Donaldson. So we've got everything in here from 13 and 14-year-olds up to 17-year-olds. Of course, Shelby trying to get a couple of more qualifying times, and we'll talk about those as we go throughout the meet here today. Of course, she is front running right now in lane number 4. Very good swimmer for CSP. She's the only entrant from the Tide Riders in here looking for that sectional cut. And if I have the proper sheet, what she's looking for here in this one is around a 2:09.29 for that. We're not exactly sure which time standard is going to be used for the sectional meet, as they've just changed it from long course to short course, but she wants to get there, so she'll be around that time. Of course, a lot of these 13 and 14-year-olds that are competing today, they are looking for their double B time or their triple A time. Double B time gets them into the champs meet in a couple of weeks' time. That triple A time will get them into the zones meet in late summer, just before we start the school year. Now, right now we're doing the IM. You start off with that butterfly, then you go to the backstroke. Right now, all 7 swimmers in the pool, they are in the breaststroke. This tends to be a stroke that is a little bit tougher for each one, unless you're a true breaststroker. And right now, Bouchon showing her quality. She came in with a 2:13.42. Again, wants to probably get down to that 2:09.29. Now, we know that standard. If she hits that, she will qualify for sectionals. Some of the sectionals have a different qualifying time based on their region. We don't know which one will happen at the University of Missouri in mid-March. Those have not yet been released. But nonetheless, she is front running. Second place right now in this heat, Ortle in lane number 5. Then followed there in lane number 2 by Sydney Matheny. She's had a strong showing here last night. Good swim for her. She comes off the wall right now, and then rounding things out, it'll be Curry, Graham, Schmidt in lane number 1, and Cora Donaldson in lane number 8. And Bouchon will come in. She'll come in. Good split on that last freestyle, the 34.21. Her overall time of a 2:17.58. Not quite probably what she wanted to get, as that's about 4 seconds off her previous best. Second place in the heat goes to Ortle, 2:21.89. She's right about her time. Then Matheny at third at a 2:24. She drops a little bit, followed by Curry, then Graham, and rounding things out, it will be Donaldson or Schmidt, then Donaldson. So nice swim for those young ladies. 2:17.58 time to beat here so far this morning. We will get into some swimmers who have not yet swam this, so they'll have no time as we get now set for heat number 2. It'll be Mia Crandall in lane number 1. It'll be Vika Anderson in lane 2. Natalie Gromberg in lane 3. It's Emma McCourt in lane 4. Paige Blom is in lane 5. Lily Driscoll is in 6. 17-year-old Ava Assinger in lane number 7, and Maddie Stoner is in lane number 8. So Ava Assinger, she's a 17-year-old. A couple of 14-year-olds, 3 14-year-olds, in fact, and Driscoll, Stoner, and Crandall, and then the rest are 13 here in this particular heat. Right now, with that butterfly stroke, you look at lane number 7 at the bottom of your screen. That's Ava Assinger, the 17-year-old. She's a little bit out ahead of everyone. Now, we want to thank everybody who sent us some tidbits about their youngster. And we will mention as many of those on the air as we get a chance to do here over the course of the morning session. And if we don't get them all in today, we'll get them in tomorrow. We'll be right back here. Hopefully your swimmer's doing swimming on both days. And I got a number in just prior to the meet here this morning, a number of nice chime-ins here. So, again, if I don't get your swimmer in, I'll do that. We'll give a little shout out to Paige Blum. She's a 7th grader at Selvage Middle School, 13 years old. Again, loves the freestyle and the breaststroke, plays basketball. She plays on 3 basketball teams. And both her parents, Ellen and Jason, mom and dad, they met while swimming at the University of Missouri. So a little shout out for her, for her parents. As we come off this first length of the breaststroke, we'll turn and go back here. We'll have another 25 of that breaststroke, and then we'll go into that freestyle. And at that point, it's all for the taking with these young ladies. You know, we know it's awfully tough for some of the parents, especially the ones with the newer, younger swimmers out here, to not be in the venue when we have the opportunity. But nonetheless, we hope you enjoy the sights and sounds that we're able to bring you as we go into that freestyle right now. Lane number 2 looking extremely strong. Vika Anderson. We've seen Vika over the years really show her quality, and right now she's front running, and it's going to be awfully tough to beat her. She comes off the wall for that final 25. Second place right now, lane number 4 with a strong showing. That's Emma McCourt. Also fellow 13-year-old, both swimming for Parkway. And then rounding things out, it looks like it'll be lane 8, Stoner, followed by Assinger. And then trickling down to Briscoe, Blom. Lane 1, it's Mia Crandall, where she's out of Incarnate Word Parish School. Chesterfield, Missouri, right in the heart of Parkway. So first place in that one, 2:35 goes to Anderson. 2:39.55 to McCourt. Then rounding things out, it'll be Assinger, Stoner. 5th place in that heat goes to Blom, then Driscoll and Crandall along with Gromberg. So nice swims for those young ladies. Here we go, heat number 3 of 4 here. Fully loaded, 8 lanes, all in there. Louisa Marietta, 13-year-old. These are all 13-year-olds, all from Parkway. Louisa Marietta in lane number 1. It's Leela Bledsoe in lane 2. Kate Morgan will be in 3 with Cecilia Hoganson in lane 4. Clara Luna in lane 5. Lindsay Wong in lane 6. It's a Didi Deo in lane 7. And Ella Valio, I think is probably how I might pronounce it. Mom and Dad, if that's not how we pronounce it, let me know. And she actually swims for Metro East, so let me know. Right now, lane number 5 looking pretty strong. It's Claire Luna. She swam very well last night as well. Last night we had some more of the kind of the distance events, that 400 IM, which is very tough. You come right back up if you swam that 400 last night. You start off with that deuce today, and a lot of these swimmers feel like that's almost... But Claire looking very strong. She'll go into the breaststroke right now. Lane number 5, right in behind her, on her heels in lane number 4. That is Hoganson. Cecilia, about a body, little more than a body length behind her. Looking strong up there in lane number 2 is Bledsoe. And then we've got a number of swimmers in lane 6, 7, and 8. Wong, Deo, and Vaio. Rounding things out with Morgan and Marietta. So all these swimmers have a previously established time. Hoganson came in with the top time of a 2:45.71. Luna with a 2:51.18. Remember, what's most important, moms and dads? And this is something for the newer parents of swimmers to understand as well. You want to improve on your time. That's what you're really shooting for. It's great if you win your heat. It's great if you win an event. But really, swimming, especially at this age, is really about what can you achieve. What are you trying to shoot for, and what can you achieve? And each and every time out, if you can just shave a little bit, even if it's a 1/10 of a second or a 100th of a second off of your previous best, then that's a victory. Claire comes off the wall very strong. Nice underwater for her as she is halfway home on this final length of the pool. Again, Claire Luna came in with a 2:51.18 on her previous personal best, and she is going to shatter that one. She's going to come in about 2:44, just shave about 7 seconds off her previous best time, 2:43.78. Nice job from Claire there. Second place in that heat will go to Hoganson, also right around her previous best, just added a little bit. Third place goes to Bledsoe, fourth to Wong, fifth to Morgan, then it's Deo, followed by Marietta and Vaio. Nice job, ladies. All right, here we come with two 13-year-olds and a 14-year-old, or 15-year-old, excuse me, all from Parkway. It's Gabby Gastrich in lane number 3. It's Anna Armesto in lane number 4, and Therese Bathgate in lane number 5. We want to give a shout out across the pond now to Grandma and Grandpa, Peter and Sandy. And they are watching from England, from Manchester to be exact. Always nice to have the international audience on tap with us here today. Young Therese, she's happy to be part of the team. She developed a passion for swimming during the pandemic, and this is her first year in the program. 7th grade at Southwest Middle. She plays the viola or viola, depending on how you want to pronounce it. She's in the school musical, The Addams Family. And again, her grandparents are watching from across the pond. I want to say hello to her. And I have a good friend that lives in Manchester. We attended their wedding about 15, 16 years ago. And sometimes it's a little tough for a Liverpool fan to walk the streets of Manchester. But I've been to Old Trafford. I've been to Anfield and both of the storied cathedrals of world football, or soccer, if you will. So nice to have them joining us here right now, and they're watching their granddaughter in lane number 5. She's in second place as we're in the backstroke. Gabby Gastrich, she's in lane 3. So what are some of these youngsters shooting for? The 13-year-olds, of course, like we mentioned, they want that double B time. It's a 2:37.59, or if they're really gearing towards that zones time, it's a 2:13.39. And Anna Armesto, the 15-year-old, she would love to get in that sectional cut. We talked about that at the 2:09. Again, not having swam this before, those would be awfully tall orders for these youngsters, but not out of the realm of possibility. There also will be a senior champs meet, and we'll get some time standards for those at some point. We don't quite have those today or have the overview of what that's going to look like. Gabby Gastrich looking good in the breaststroke. Again, this stroke tends to be a difference maker in this particular event. Sometimes you'll see swimmers that are really strong in the butterfly in the backstroke and then maybe not as strong in the breaststroke. Or maybe they're not as strong in the backstroke, but then they get to the breaststroke and it allows them to make up a lot of time and some of the gap in the pool. So we'll see how that plays out over the course of the next several. We're going to have 5 heats for the young men as well. So this is a good start to our racing day here. We'll bring you these 13 and overs here this morning. I'll be on tap for the broadcast. And then this afternoon, Kevin will still be around bringing you the sites. We'll still have that video feed for the 12 and unders. Coming off the wall right now, Gabby Gastrich. Looking very good as she gets to mid-pool. Again, these young ladies, all 3 of them trying to establish their first ever time in this 200 IM. And then once you get that first time, parents out there, if you're new to this, then you start to figure out where do you build. You start to figure out what are your strokes, which ones do you like the most, etc. All right, now we've got a loaded field here as these 3 young ladies come in. Again, it'll be Gastrich at 3:00:47, 3:05:65 for Armesto, and then Bathgate with a 3:12:13. Nice job, ladies. Great times for all 3 of those youngsters. Their first time out, so give them a round of applause. And we've got a loaded field here for the young men, 13 and over. This is the 200 IM, starting off with Andy Assinger in lane number 1. It's C-Money, Colin Schaefer. He's in lane number 2 with Callum Shank in lane number 3. Matthew Judkins, fastest prelim time. And he can go down to a 154. They've got him listed as a 158.41. Carter Crook, his longtime teammate, he's in lane 5. Andrew Heidner is in lane 6. It's Jacob Deering, the 18-year-old. He's in lane 7. And then Vincent Hagar in lane number 8. So we've got a couple, 3 15-year-olds in Assinger, Crook, and Hagar, a 14-year-old in C-Money, Colin Schaefer, a couple of 16-year-olds in Shank and Judkins. 17 is Heibner, and 18 is Deering. Judkins right now, as many would expect, he leads after the butterfly, one of the top butterflyers in the Midwest, and a very strong backstroker. And he continues to lead, but also maybe one of the better backstrokers in the Midwest. Carter Crook, you see him to start to close that gap now. He's inside of a body length. Now we're going to go into that difference-making stroke, and let's see who's going to either widen it out or pick something up. Judkins has improved tremendously, having gotten his first ever sectional time in the breaststroke. He looks strong. He's much better at the breaststroke in this 200 IM than he is in that 400 he did last night, but Crook is hanging right in there with him, right on his heels. And then lane number 2 looking very good. It's Colin Schaefer. Of course, we want to say hello to the Shanks, as we got some nice information from Aaron, their mother. Of course, their dad is always officiating, so they have Cal, Emmett, Will, and Abram all in the program. Louisa is going to be in at some point, and I want to say hello. And Emmett got his AA last time in that 400 IM last night, so great job for him. And again, we mentioned Brett is one of the top officials in the Midwest. We'll see him throughout all the big meets. He's here today. Judkins right now, again, he's not going to beat his personal best times. In fact, he's going to be well off of it, but he will front run, and he will lead this one. Crook right in behind him. Carter came into this one with a 2:02.54. He's got an outside chance. He's going to just not quite make that one. And then right in behind them, it's Schaefer. So nobody will go under 2 minutes in this one. Schaefer with a 2:07, a little bit off his best time. Let's see if anybody got an improvement. Assinger did. He came in 4th. He dropped 3 seconds. 5th place in that heat goes to Hebner at a 2:09. Andrew off his best time. And then rounding things out, it'll be Shank, Deering, and Hager. So strong one from Andy Assinger. Judkins gets the win in that one. Crook right in behind him. Alex McGee will be in lane number 1 here. No one in lane 2 in this particular heat. It'll be William Chen in 3. Lane 4 has Cole Smith. It's Ryan Lipsky in 5. Luke Heberly in 6th. It is Daniel Lansbaum in 7th. And Tommy Fichter is in lane number 8. Of course, we got a note earlier this morning from Daniel's mom, Amanda. We give them a shout out. The Lansbaums, always nice to see them. And of course, his father, known him for quite a long time. He is an 8th grader over at North Middle. Looking forward to swinging for Kirkwood next year. And of course, Kirkwood right now, the girls, they are trying to defend their state title. They won it last year under their longtime Parkway swimmer and head coach Matt Beasley. A lot of strong swimmers that come right out of this Walker Natatorium right here. Danny loves baseball, plays catcher as well. And right now, you look to the middle of the pool, lane 3, it's Chen, followed right in there, behind it by Smith and Lipsky. One thing I know about Lansbaum, we mentioned him a moment ago, he is somebody that can make up ground in that breaststroke. Very good at it. Let's talk a little bit about Cole Smith as well. He's a freshman at Parkway Central. We mentioned him last night. His mom chimed in and said he has really enjoyed swimming, went out for the high school swim team, got the bug. Now he's part of the Parkway program, the club program, and trying to follow in his stepfather's footsteps, who was a college and high school swimmer. And we saw him at the state meet. He has done quite well and really got the bug, like we mentioned, from high school. And folks, if you're ever wondering, should your kid swim high school or stay in the club, I will tell you, having a kid in high school now that does both, the high school experience he really enjoys. It's a different kind of a swim. It's very fast. It's all sprintings with the exception of that 500. And the kids really get a bond, and a lot of times they get to swim with kids who are on the other clubs that they compete against. First place right now, lane number 3, this is William Chen. He came in with a 2:14.41. He's got an opportunity to beat that, and if he stays on pace right now, he is going to beat that. Won't quite get to that 2:03 that Judkins got earlier to win the event, but nonetheless, he is right in there with it. First one into the wall, and he is going to come in at a 2:11. So he will beat his previous best. Second place in the heat goes to Cole Smith. Let's see where he rounds out at a 2:14, just off his previous best time. Then it's Lipsky. We always expect Ryan to be fast, and he was there at a 2:15, Heberly with a 2:17, just off of his previous best. And then following it's McGee, and then Lansbaum. He gets a 3-second improvement on his, and then Fichter rounds it out right on his previous best time at a 2:32, just 13 years old. 7 swimmers jump in right now, lanes 1 through 4. It'll be Johnny Laird, Jack Pfister, Michael Purcell, and Harry Pendleton. No one in lane 5. And then it is Lucas Day in 6, Kevin Wong in lane number 7, and Tyler Matheny in lane number 8. Want to give a shout out to his parents. Of course, Ryan Nardi, he's always the first one to chime in on our line, and he says, "Go Big Ty." Way to go, see money as well, and always love to see Ty out there competing. Of course, special story for him, and he loves to cheer his sister on as well. We saw Sydney earlier. No bigger fan of hers than her big brother right now. Top lane, it's Pfister. First place, second place right now. Lane number 7 is Wong. Followed in behind by a tough group. Purcell, Pendleton, Day, and Matheny. Special shout out to Johnny Laird from The Godfather, Jason Stone. He says, "Go young Johnny." Hopefully I'll get a chance to meet the Laird family at some point, but we can swap a story or two about Jason Stone, but he wanted to make sure we gave Johnny a shout out today. This is that difference-making stroke. We talked about it a couple of moments ago. Jack Pfister continuing to lead in the breaststroke, but making up strong in a lot of ground right now is Harry Pendleton in lane number 4. In fact, he's closed that gap. He's just on his heels, also looking very good in lane number 6. That's Lucas Day. They'll go into the freestyle, and it's anybody's ball game at this point. Pfister holds everyone else off. Pendleton right in behind him, and now into the freestyle. And Pfister seems to be lengthening it out just a little bit, maybe just a little bit more strength left again. Then it is Pendleton, Day, Wong, Purcell, Laird, and Matheny, bottom of your screen. First one into the wall will be Jack Pfister. Good time for him at a 2:26. He drops almost 14 seconds, 2:26.51. So nice job, Jack. You're going to see some times drop here, I think, with some of these youngsters. Second place goes to Pendleton at a 2:29. He drops over a second on his previous best. Third place goes to Day at a 2:32. He drops 6 seconds. Rounding things out, it'll be Purcell, followed by Wong, then Laird and Tyler Matheny. Tyler drops 5 seconds off his previous best, so way to go, Big Ty. And his dad gives the virtual fist pump as he puts a yeah out there on the message board. Tyler also got a shout out from Scott Schaefer. We'll say hi to Scott this morning. All right, here we go. This is heat number 4. Edward Norton. He'll be in lane number 1. No one in lane 2. It's Matthew Gillis in lane number 3. Matthew Sheridan is in 4. Gavin Joyner's in 5. Emilio Samaya is in lane 6. And lane 7 is Andrew Kastner. No one in lane 8 here in this particular event. Front running right now is Sheridan in lane number 4. And then we've got all the other swimmers kind of bunching up there a little bit. 3 swimmers, in fact. It's Norton, Gillis, and Joyner. Rounding things out, it'll be Kastner and Samaya. Sheridan looking strong. 15-year-old came under the 3:02.83. Right now, he's going to shatter that if he can keep it up with the breaststroke. Interested to see young Matthew Gillis, new to the program. Known as father for a number of years. Comes from an athletic family. Grandfather was a big-time college football player. His first year of competitive swimming, and as his dad said, his dad is good physical size. Young Matthew's going to hit puberty here in a moment. We might see him right now. He is really working on perfecting his technique. Trying to get all those basics down in his first year really of competitive club swimming. So good to see him. Interesting factoid about him. The young man likes to do stop motion movies. Makes them on his iPads and on his phone. He's done a couple different scenes, Jaws and the Titanic sinking and whatnot. So pretty cool stuff for a youngster to be in. Well, good time right now for Sheridan in lane 4. He's going to shatter his previous best. Again, he came in at a 3:02.83. He may go under 2.5 minutes. He may get a Parkway award for dropping more than 30 seconds in just one event. He's looking really good right now. Off the wall at 2:13. He did that particular split in about 12 seconds, so let's see what he comes back in. Second place, lane 5 right now. That's Joyner. Then followed in there by Gillis and Norton. Kastner rounding it out, then Samaya. First one into the wall. There it is for Sheridan. 2:29.40. What a time for him. Over a half a second of improvement. And we're going to see some more improvements as we get on in through the rest of this here. Expecting to see the same thing from Joyner. He came in at a 3:02.87. He's going to come in under 3. Lane number 1, Norton. He had no previous time, so. And then Gillis came in. His previous best was a 3:03.53. He's going to beat that. As we look at it, 2:57.30 for Joyner, 3:03.53 for Norton, 3:03 flat, or 55 for Norton, 3:03 flat for Gillies. So nice job for Matthew. And Andrew Kastner with a 3:08.30, and Andrew in that one. That's his first ever, so nice job for him. Of course, we're going to give a shout out to his parents, Greg and Karen, and longtime friends. And Andrew continues to improve. This is a stroke he probably would not have, or a race he probably would not have attempted a couple of years ago, but he has gotten very strong in the pool. And now young Andrew with a nice time and his first ever at a 3:08.30. Last one in will be Samaya now as we round things out for heat number 4. We've got one more heat. We've got three swimmers getting ready to jump in on this one. Soft touch by Emilio there in lane 6, so he didn't record his time up on the board. What does a soft touch mean? Soft touch means may not have touched that finish pad, that time pad, with as much authority as they can. That's something they can learn. The coaches will teach them that. They'll see that up on the board. They'll say, when you come into the wall in that final touch, make sure you hit that pad nice and hard. All right, we've got Ryan Pinkerton in lane number 3. It's Howard Quinn in lane 4, and Daniel Kuhlman in lane number 5. All 13-year-olds. Pinkerton and Kinn, both from Parkway. Kuhlman from U-City. Of course, the swimming without the cap. He's got that nice low and tight cut there that I always like to see. He's looking pretty strong right now. It's Daniel. Lane number 5. Again, none of these swimmers have a previously recorded time. All right, from this one, folks, we're going to go to a very difficult stroke. We're going to have a lot of time to talk. We're going to have some time to visit. It'll be a 200-yard breaststroke. We debated last night what is the most grueling event. Is it the 400 IM or the 200 butterfly? I might venture to say it is the 200 breaststroke because it's the most technically demanding stroke of all of them, and you have to do it at speed. Some would say, well, that 200 backstroke because you're upside down for 200 yards, but I think this breaststroke to me is one that is really, really grueling and really, really tough. So be quite fun to have that one. We'll see if we'll have a break too. We'll have some different breaks throughout the course of the morning. One of the things I'm liking seeing as I look around the pool, all these youngsters haven't seen a down face from anybody, a lot of smiles. This is a tune-up meet, folks. What does that mean? This is not a championship meet. So what these swimmers are trying to do is really work on technique. They're trying to pick up a little bit more speed, maybe improve on their times, maybe get those qualifiers. But again, it is really about working with their coaches, letting them coaches evaluate the swimmer, and then they'll take that back to practice to then really prime them for those championship meets. Daniel Kuhlman looking strong right now, lane number 5. Right in behind him is Pinkerton. Kinn is in lane number 4. Still with his breaststroke. Boy, you're going to go under 3 minutes in your first ever for a 13-year-old. Folks, that's not anything to sneeze at. I think we're going to have 2 of them do that. In fact, they're going to go under 250 likely. Kuhlman will touch in about a 246. Right in behind him, about a 249 will be Pinkerton. Nice times, young men. 246.71 to be exact. 249.02. Very, very, very strong for your first time out. A lot of promise there when you start to think about that. So Howard's teammates cheering him on. Nice job, Howard, finishing that one out. Your first time ever. Part of it is just making sure that you finish, and he did it. So nice job. Congratulations to him. Now, here we go. This is the 200-yard breaststroke, folks. Let's count down all 8 swimmers in this one. These are all young ladies, 13s and 14-year-olds. It's Danny Hume in lane number 1, Claire Sauer in lane number 2. It's Sadie Kalmus in lane 3, Georgia Samet in lane 4. It's Vienna Schindler in lane 5, Maddie Stoners in 6, Ella Bio in lane number 7, and Vika Anderson in 8. It's a long one, folks. They're going to have 8 lengths of the pool for this one. Front running here right now in lane number 4 is Georgia Samet, the 13-year-old from Metz, and she is looking very strong. Right next to her is Schindler in lane number 5, and then Kalmus in lane number 3. I want to give a shout-out to Jill Hume. She chimed in for Danny this morning. I want to say hello to her. Of course, had some time to visit with them at the meet in Carbondale a couple weeks ago. Her older sister, Haley, swims at Valpo and swam with my son at the national level for a couple of years. But young Danny, she's at Selvage Middle, 7th grade. Loves the freestyle and backstroke, so she's stretching herself a little bit here in this 200 breaststroke. Plays volleyball, baking, and she also loves spending some time with her friends. So shout out to the Humes, longtime swim family here with the Parkway program. Starting to look at what are some of the qualifiers here or whatnot for these 13 and 14-year-olds. That double B time is a 2:57.29. 2:23.19 is the quad. The 2:29.99, that's the AAA. Not sure if we're going to sniff that one yet, but the best time coming in was Samet with a 2:34.29. So she would like to drop another 4.5 seconds. If she can do that, she will get that AAA. That AAA puts her in the zones meet, provided she has not passed 14 years old yet. And that's an achievement, folks. I've had a number of parents ask me, especially new to the program, what are these cuts? What do they mean? Well, there's a chart. It's on the Parkway website. Check it out. Go to the link for the meets. At the very top of that page, there's something that's called time standards. Right now we're in short course yards, so you're looking for this time standards for short course yards. There are cuts. There are certain meets that you get invited to or you can achieve and get into based on your cuts. The next big one coming up is a double B time, and that gets you into the Division I championships if you're 14 and under in a couple of weeks' time. Right now, looking pretty strong. She's going to be pretty close to that 29. I think she's just going to miss it, but she's got time for a personal best. Will she get it? Off the wall, and she's going to be right near it. Georgia Samet will come in at a 2:34.60, just off her previous best time. Nice swim for Georgia. Right in behind her is Schindler from Parkway at a 2:41.99. That's good enough for an A time, so that would qualify for any meets that require that A time. Third place is Kalmus at a 2:48.33. That is well under the B time. Nice job for her, for Sadie, right on her previous best time. Fourth place goes to Danny Hume, and she's at a 3:01. She's just off of that double B time, so maybe you have another opportunity here in the upcoming weeks to get that. Fifth place goes to Vika Anderson at a 3:01.81. Sixth place to Stoner, 3:05.15. That B time is a 3:10.89. They're vying for that 2:57.29. So a number of those that came through there will be in those 8 champs. I think she gets another meet, and you got that last chance meet coming up in a couple of weeks. She might be right there for it. This is an awfully tough stroke, though, folks. So getting those time cuts in this event is pretty tough. Rounding things out now, lane number 7, it'll be Vio, and then Sauer in lane number 2. Congratulations to those ladies. That will end event number 9. We just have one heat of that one. Well, we're going to see everything all across the board here in this one. We're going to see some of the really bright youngsters, and we're going to bring that up here in just a moment, all the way to some of the top studs in the state who have never swam this event, or at least they don't have a recently recorded time. So let's start things off, and we'll see. It looks like lane number 1 is going to be vacated. Oh, no, there comes Jeremiah. Jeremiah is here. So Jeremiah Kinnigan, lane number 1. Will Cottle, Francis Howell, he is in lane number 2, swims for Parkway now. Then the Phenom. He did very well last night in that 400 IM. It's Connor Moran. He is the zone's champion in the 200 breaststroke. Jack Favazza, very strong in this event as well. Jack, he's in lane 4. He's the fastest time with a 2:11:39. Andy Assinger in lane 5. It's Bennett Christopherson in lane 6. Of course, Bennett wants to say hello to his parents. A very bright young man, just like his older brother. Scored very high on the standardized testing, just a sophomore, and right now he's stretching it out. He'll be in lane number 6. Colin Schaefer, C Money's in lane 7, and Patrick Wong is in lane number 8. Got a note from Colin's dad, Scott, and he said, you know what? Everybody go find that sundial because we might need it. Being a little tongue-in-cheek with Colin. Of course, Colin very much follows in the footsteps of my own son in a lot of the similar strokes, but they do not like this one. But Colin out there swimming this one right now. Phil Christopherson chiming in, though, saying go Bennett. And we got a note from Sadie's mother. It's Kulemis. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Kulemis instead of Kalmus. Okay. So I will make that change over the course of the next couple of races when she's in. Front running right now, as you might expect, Jack Favazza, the 16-year-old, attends Marquette High School, one of the top breaststrokers in the state, 2-time state medalist, and of course his younger sister Lucy, also a swimmer. His dad, you see him at the top of your screen walking on the side of the pool. He's one of the top officials in the Midwest, and I always like to give a shout out to Mike for all the work that he does and say thank you. Can't do this without the officials, folks. Parents, if you're interested, get in there. We know a number of them. I think about Ron Graham, who signed up to be an official the last couple of years. Brian DeBosch, you see him over at the scorers table, ushering in those new wave of officials. We mentioned Brett Shank earlier. Stephanie, she's been a long-time Parkway head official. Tremendous, well-respected throughout the entire USA swimming world. Can't list all the officials, but they do a tremendous job, and we want to thank them. What's Jack trying to beat here in this one? Jack came in at a 2:11:39. He's going to be off of that previous best time. He wants that ISCA cut of a 2:10:99. He's going to have the opportunity to get that one when we get into some championship meets. I'm pretty sure he's got that sectional cut in this one already. But Jack is a phenomenal swimmer. But look at young Connor Moran. Connor's going to drop tremendous amount of time, and Connor, 2:18:79. He's going to be just off of that, I think. He was going for that AAA, and as he's just moved up in age groups, 2:19:26. Connor's going to get that one, and he's a very strong in the long course as well. 2:15:37 for Jack. Assinger with a 2:23:32, and then let's round it out. It's Koenig, followed by Bennett Christopherson, Colin Schaefer, and Will Cottle. And Scott, I'm happy to report that Colin did not drown, so he'll live to swim his later races after this one. And in fact, he dropped 2 seconds off his previous best time. All right, here we go. Heat number 2 here. Nick McBride's in lane 2. Johnny Laird is in lane, or McBride's in lane 1. Johnny Laird's in lane 2. And we've got a scratch out, so McBride is not here. Pavel Hardy is in lane number 3, looking very strong right now. It's Emmett Shank in lane number 4. Of course, his mom gave that shout out earlier. Luke Heberly is in lane 5. Elliot Bland is in 6. He's very strong in the stroke. He's a 13-year-old. Ryan Pinkerton in lane 7, and then Andrew Kastner coming in lane number 8. Talking a little bit about Emmett. He wants that other double A time so he can get into that another event down in the ISCA meet. He'll still, Emmett will still swim in that age group. That'll be that elite age group meet, which Coach Chris Etherington will take that squad down there. That's a tremendous meet. And a number of the swimmers got to go last year. We missed out on it due to COVID 2 years ago, and it was tough. But that's a great meet. If folks, I would encourage you, if your kids qualify for that, to get down there. It's a tremendous time. But right now, he'd love to get that event. Front running, though, is Pavel Hardy, the 16-year-old, came in with a 2:33:38. He's going to, if he keeps up with this pace, he's going to go well under that. Shank had the top time coming in at 2:32:22. Right in behind him was Luke Heberly, the 18-year-old Parkway Central senior, 2:32:28. Or 24, excuse me. And they're kind of all right in there together. So a couple of strong swims right now. With Hardy just about a hand's length lead here over Heberly, and not going away is Emmett Shank. Off the wall then, lane number 6, excuse me, it's Bland, followed by Pinkerton, then Laird, and then Andrew Kastner. We're coming right down to it. Are we going to get some personal bests here? Into the wall, and it will be Luke Heberly, followed by Pavel Hardy. He noses him out. 2:29.13, 2:31.44, and 2:33 flat for Emmett Shank, just off of his previous best time. So Heberly and Pavel Hardy both dropped time. Shank off his previous best time just barely, but a good race for him. Elliott Bland looks to be in good shape to get that 4th place. It will be Elliott. He pulls in at 4th. Followed by Pinkerton, then Laird. Bland with a 3:02.42 just off his previous best. Ryan Pinkerton with a nice little drop at 3:05.24. Andrew Kastner now will round things out. He came in at a 3:30.92. He's going to be right on that time. Come on, Andrew, get into that wall. He is going to come in at right about a 3:31. So nice job, all those swimmers. Heberly takes the heat. All right, now this will be interesting. None of these swimmers have a previous best time. You've got 2 18-year-olds in the middle of the pool, and Cooper Scharf and Gabe Porter. And now it looks like Cooper has decided he is not going to swim this one. Well, when you're one of the best swimmers in the country, sometimes you get to scratch out. But Gabe Porter is going to go on ahead and swim this one out. Then you've got 3 14-year-olds. Alex McGee, Ethan Hill, and Jackson Deering. And rounding things out, a couple of 13-year-olds on the outside. Now it actually looks like Kuhlman has scratched out, but Howard Kin in lane number 1. Gabe Porter looking really strong so far through this one. Expect he might be somewhere down around that 2:20 range or under for his first time with a recorded time. First split for Gabe is going to be under 110, so he's on pace to hit that 2:20. Gabe very good at pacing himself. He's good at the distance events. We saw him last night in that 4 IM. He's good at the 500, very good at the 200 free as well. Part of that very strong Parkway relay team that they took down to the Winter Junior Nationals, set a couple of club records, so always nice to spend time with this young man. He's been a team leader throughout his career for Parkway. Traditionally, he leads the team in attendance year in and year out, and I know that has set a tremendous example for my own son, who said, "Dad, my goal this year is to at least be equal to Gabe so he doesn't win that award by himself." And of course, a lot of these meets over the course of Gabe's career with Parkway could not take place without his father, Blair Porter. We always see Blair wearing the orange around the event. He's our master of ceremonies. He's the marshal for the meet, and right now he helps us put this on. Of course, his understudy right now, Matt Mollering, starting to take over as Gabe will graduate, move on to the college ranks, will swim in college. Right now he's got a number of options. He had a chance to talk to him the other night. He said, well, maybe S&T, one of the best Division II programs in the Midwest and in the country. Of course, they compete maybe the best Division II conference in the country in that GLVC. But he's looking good, and he'll come in right now. Looks like about a 2:29, 2:28.04 for Gabe. Next one into the wall. Looks like lane number 2. It'll be Alex McGee. Alex gets stronger each and every time we see him. Young 14-year-old comes in at a 2:43.24. Nice established time for him. In fact, that 2:43.23 is a double B time for him, so congratulations to Alex. He'll swim that at the Champs in a couple of weeks if he's not overloaded with events already. Deering comes in third, 256.40. Fourth place in that one, Ethan Hill with a 258.81. Nice job to those young men. Rounding things out, it will be Kuhlman in lane 7. Or I think I scratched him out. He did not scratch. I had him missing. And then Kin up in lane number 1. Now we'll get set for this next event, folks. Now we start to move and groove. We had a little bit of a time to chat and have a conversation there. Not going to have as much time here in these next events. We're going to go to the 100-yard freestyle. Almost every swimmer in the program will swim this at one point or another, just like the 50s. Let's start it off with the fastest heat, which will come out first. It'll be Natalie Gromberg in lane number 1. It's Claire Paul in lane number 2. It's Sophia Schmidt in lane number 3. Shelby Bouchon, she won the event earlier in lane number 4. It's Sydney Matheny. She'll be right in there. She is in lane number 5. Ellie Green is in lane number 6. It's Carissa Osborne in 7. And Paige Blom in lane number 8. Right now it is Bouchon in lane 4 heading the pack. This will be 4 lengths in the pool, folks, for all these young ladies. Give a shout out to Ellie Green. Now she's 14. She's a freshman at St. Joe's Academy, enjoying swimming, and her teammates loves the freestyle. She also runs track in the spring, and so very good program over there on Lindbergh. Bouchon comes in first, 57.19 for Shelby, and her previous best was a 55.44. Right in behind her was Green, so nice job for her. For Ellie, she comes in with an improvement of a 57.42. Then Sydney Matheny, a little bit off her previous best, Paul, and then rounding things out, it will be Blom, Osborne, Gromberg, and Schmidt. All right, 8 full in here in this one. It's Ava Assinger in lane number 1, Cora Donaldson in lane 2, Sierra Graham in lane 3, Emma McCourt is in lane 4, it's Cecilia Hoganson in lane 5, Lily Driscoll in lane 6, Vika Anderson in 7, and Mia Crandall in lane number 8. Prelim time here, best one coming into this event was McCourt at a 101.99. And first one off the wall there, it will be McCourt. And she will have a 102.58. Not her best time, but pretty close. Anderson second. Third was Driscoll, followed by Hoganson. And then it was Donaldson, Ashinger. And rounding things out, Graham and Mia Crandall. All right, folks, here we go. Next one in the pool. Looking strong, 8 full, nice underwaters from all of these young ladies. It's Gabby Gastrich in lane number 1. It's Aditi Deo in lane 2. It's Kate Figge in 3. Kate Morgan is in 4. Leah Bledsoe is in 5. Lindsay Wong is in 6. Carly Keski is in 7th. And they have it listed as McGenna Heber in lane number 8. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Middle of the pool right now, it's lanes 3, 4, and 5. That's Figge, Morgan, and Bledsoe. They are front running as they'll touch here now just a little over 31 seconds in that first split. 32s for those 3 young ladies. I want to give a shout out to Tim Figge, Kate's father. You know, he chimed in with some nice anecdotes about his young daughter. Of course, her first year swimming with the program. She's looking for a couple of qualifying times here in a couple of events. She's done Swim Across America a number of times. For those of you who haven't been involved, that's an open water swim, and it raises money for charity, and she's done that out at Innsbruck. That's a 1.2-mile swim. I cannot do that, folks. I'm just telling you that right now. And she loves to bake and make homemade ice cream. And so right in line with her father, Tim, who does refrigeration for a living for all those food stores, Schnucks, Deerbergs, and whatever. 107.01 for Morgan, followed in behind by Bledsoe. Then third place, it was Keski. Figgy in fifth. Fourth was Deo. Sixth was Wong, Heber, and Gastrich. So they were looking for that 105. That is that double B time. If you're a 13 and 14-year-old, almost all those swimmers with the exception of Massinger were.
This is the final heat for event number 11. Event number 12, boys 13 and over 100-yard freestyle.
5 swimmers here in this particular heat. No one in lane number 1. It's Armesto in lane number 2. Lane number 3 is Bathgate. It is Marietta in lane 5 with Claire Sauer in lane 6, and Ella Bayo in lane number 7 from Metz. Armesto in lane 2 is a 15-year-old. All the rest are 13 years old. So they'd love to get that double B time of a 105.49 to swim this event here in a couple of weeks' time. Of course, that meet will take place over at the Recplex. That's a prelim final meet, folks. For those of you not familiar with that, that means you will swim a preliminary round, and then the top swimmers get to go to the finals. Got to go Lily here on the shout out from the previous heat back in heat number 2. First one into the wall, looking really strong. Lane number 5, and it will be Marietta. Followed in behind by Armesto. Then it's Bathgate. Again, had her grandparents listening from across the Atlantic. Ohio, and then Sauer rounding things out. Top time in that one was a 1:13.25. All right, here come for the young men. Again, the way they got this heat sheet set up, the fastest heats with preliminary times go first. Cole Smith will be in lane number 1. It'll be Carter Crook in lane 2. Callum Shank in lane 3. Cooper Scharf in lane 4. Connor Suthers is in 5. It'll be Jeremiah Koenig in 6. Grayson Mueller in lane 7. And Vincent Hager in lane 8. A number of high school teammates in here, including Mueller and Scharf, who swim together at St. Louis U High. A couple of others as well. But look for Scharf to really front run in this one. Suthers very strong. He goes to CBC High School. He can hang in there in this 100, that's for sure. Look, a nice turn that time by Jeremiah Koenig in lane number 6. Scharf will be the front runner in this one, as many expect. But right now, Koenig looking strong for second place in lane 6. He's right in there with Suthers. Suthers is a great back half swimmer, meaning that last lap, look out, because he can really turn it on. Scharf now, his previous best in this one was a 46.15. He won't get that here in this particular event, but he will hit it at, probably about a 47. It is going to be a 48.89. Second place in the heat goes to Koenig. Nice swim by Jeremiah at a 50.73. Then Connor Suthers rounding things out. Carter Crook with a nice time of a 52.66, just off his previous best. Then Callum Shank, Mueller, Hager, and Smith and Hager. Nice job to those young men. Matty Peretz, let's see, is he in here? He scratched out early. He scratched out here. It's Pfister in lane number 2. It is Connor Moran in lane number 3. It's William Chen in 4. Andy Assinger is in lane 5. Zidane Risa is in lane 6. Lane 7 has Pavel Hardy, and no one in lane 8. So no one in the outside lanes. Look to the middle of the pool. Looking really strong right now is Assinger in lane number 5. He's a 15-year-old. Hardy typically pretty decent in this one. He's lagging back right now. So it is Assinger, Chen, and Moran. Moran again, that 13-year-old. 51.59. That is your AAA time to get into that zones for this event. Or there's 13 and 14-year-olds. Looking at that sectional cut for the 100 free, 47. That's going to be well off of that one. And it'll go Assinger, followed by Chen, then Moran. 53.30, the top one, then Riza, Pfister, and Hardy. At 54.72 for Connor Moran, the 13-year-old, good enough for an A time. Kevin Wong is in lane number 1. It's Charlie Schaefer in lane 2. Alex McGee is in 3. Matthew Sheridan is in 4. Bennett Christopherson is in 5. Daniel Lansbaum is in 6. Jason Deering is in lane 7, and Harry Pendleton is in lane number 8. So we got a 16-year-old in Christopherson, a 15-year-old in Sheridan, one 13-year-old in Schaefer, and the rest are 14. A number of them trying to get those qualifying times to make sure they get into that meet. A couple of them are still looking to get that cut in Wong. Deering and Pendleton. Lansbaum already has it, as does Schaefer and McGee. They're in that meet in a couple of weeks. They'd love to drop some more so they can move up into that double or triple beat time. Right now, Alex McGee, we know he's strong in the freestyle and in the butterfly. He's looking really good right now as he comes into the wall. Young Alex will hit under his previous best time. He'll get first place in the heat, and it will be a 56:15. Nice job, Alex. Good enough for an A time for him as well. Second place in that heat goes to Sheridan. Then it's Christopherson. Lansbaum rounding things out will be Pendleton. He'll get that double B time. Wong will get the double B time just under the, or no, just by .06. And then rounding things out, Deering and Schaefer. All right, Tyler Matheny now. He'll be in lane number 1. It's Chris Hank, or no one in lane 2, sorry. Johnny Laird is in lane number 3. Lucas Day is in 4. It's Elliott Bland in 5. June Ju in lane 6. No one's in lane 7, and Gavin Joyner in lane number 1. And we talked about Tyler a couple of moments ago, and it's always nice for Ryan to give us those anecdotes, but as many of you know, Tyler competes at the Paralympics. Well, he's now not only qualified in the track and field events, he's also a qualified swimmer. So great job for him. Just finished the sophomore season at Parkway West and Longhorns. Wants to get a state cut next year in the 500. You know what? If I put my money on any kid that enters these pools, there's probably 5 or 6 of them in the Parkway program. Tyler is one of them. He goes out, he sets his goals, and he achieves it. So congratulations to him. He keeps pushing his envelope. Gets out there in water polo and the sprint as well. Inspirational for everyone that comes out and watching. There's not a nicer kid out there, too, folks. Got to mention that. That should not go without mention. Lucas Day with a 1 minute .25. The 14-year-old will get that double B cut, followed in behind by Bland. Then it was Johnny Laird. Rounding things out, it'll be Jew. Then Matheny with a 108.69 for Tyler, just off his previous best time, and Gavin Joyner. He drops over a second, or just right at a second from his previous best in lane number 8. Nice job to those young men. Well, we want to, again, thank Kevin Girth all the time, folks. We couldn't do this. He comes to these meets, gives up his weekend. Of course, the kids are a part of the program, but, you know, it takes a lot of time for him to set up, tear down, make sure his equipment works. He wants to do everything to perfection. I work a lot of events at the professional level, and you don't get technicians that do quite the job that he does, and then he does it by himself. So, a lot of kudos to him. And he likes Dr. Pepper, so if you ever want to give him a gift, send him a 6-pack. And of course, I always wouldn't mind borrowing one myself as long as it's cold. Your announcing crew loves the 23 flavors of Dr. Pepper. All right, here we go, folks. Now, heat number 5. It'll be I don't know who is in lane number 1. They don't have a name up there. There is no one in lane 2. It's Ryan Pinkerton in lane 3. Edward Norton is in lane 4. Matthew Gillis in lane 5. Andrew Kastner is in 6. And George Martin is in lane 7. Yeah, Kastner, the 16-year-old. All the rest are 13-year-olds trying to get their first times. Now, Ed Norton will tell you, never talk about Fight Club, but talk about doing really well in your event. Top time in that one was a 106.19 in lane number 1. Not sure who that one was, but Norton comes in with a 110.31. And young Edward just saved almost 4 seconds off his previous best time, followed by Gillis and Kastner, and then rounding things out, it was Martin. So nice job to all those young men. Kastner right on his previous time of a 116. Now, final heat. Daniel Kuhlman's in lane 3. It's Amelia Sumaya in lane 4 and Howard Kinn in lane number 5. All 13 years old. Kuhlman from U-City, the other 2 from Parkway. Young Daniel does not have a previously established time. Comes off the wall with a nice split of a 33.30. Again, would love to get that 10089 to get that double B cut. He looks very smooth. I like his technique. No wasted effort for young Daniel. Again, goes without that swim cap too. Got that nice high and tight, or that low cut, if you will, and it glides right through the water. You're a coach and you've got somebody first year out swimming, you see this kind of technique, you got to be licking your chops. You can get some speed on this young man, and he's going to fill out and get bigger as well. So, Mom and Dad, you might have somebody who's going to be in this for the long haul. He'll come in at right around 212 or 112, so just off of that time, 111.40 in fact, so a nice established time for him. The other two are going to come under their previous best. 127 for Samaya and Ken at a 137. Both of them going to come in well under that. Ken with a 125 and Samaya with a 127.15, so he's right on his previous time. Well, no breaks here today, folks. We will get a break, I think, before that 500 freestyle, but we'll go into that backstroke right now. 6 competitors in the water. Lane number 1 is Emma McCord. It's Sierra Graham in lane 2. Of course, we mentioned her father, Ron, just a couple of moments ago. He is an official. We've seen her get low before. Reagan Freezes in lane 3. No one in lane 4. It's Riley Curry in lane 5. Danny Hume is in lane 6. No one in 7. And then Leela Bledsoe is in lane number 8. So all 13 years old, with the exception of Reagan Freeze. She's in lane number 3. Trying to get one more time, see if she can't get into some type of sectional cut for her. If you're wondering what that is on the sheet that we got, this is the national sectional cut in this 2 back. It's a 207.19. Her previous best was a 222.02. Curry has the previous best time. She's from Metz at a 220.02. That has her well into the double B time. She's already got that qualifier, so she'd love to go a little lower. A chance to talk to the Mets coach, Bob Ruddle, earlier, and he's happy, brings a group of swimmers over here. Of course, they always pair up with the Parkway program and get in some early long course over at the Edwardsville Chuck Fruit Aquatic Center. And I always like to say Bob is one of the good guys in swimming. Did a favor for us a couple of years ago and allowed my son to get into a meet at the last minute. My son went on from there to qualify for a first ever zone. So forever want to thank Bob for that. And not only did he do that, he said, send Matthew over, we'll take care of him. And he walked him through every event, made sure he was taken care of, didn't feel out of place. Middle of the pool now, still looking strong. Lane 3, it's Reagan Freeze. Her last split was a 140.84. Don't think she's going to quite come in under that 209. Now, that cut could be a little bit different for the Mizzou sectional coming up in a couple of weeks, or the 207, but it's not going to be much off. They tend to vary maybe by a second or two, maybe some tenths of a second. Curry looking very good right now as well. So Reagan will come in. She'll beat her previous best time. Come in at a 2:18.55. 2.5 seconds. Actually, 3.5 seconds off her previous best. Riding behind her was Curry with a 2:20. Just a little off her top PR. Then Hume with a 2:30.17. Graham, then McCourt. And Bledsoe will round things out. Now we go heat number 2. We've got a number of swimmers who have no recorded time, and then one. I don't think Reisel's here. Reisel is not here this weekend, so all these swimmers will be without a previously established time. Actually, it does look like Reisel is here, so okay. We have somebody in lane 1, which we don't know who that is. It's Claire Luna in lane 2. It's Lindsay Wong in lane 3. And Reisel's not here. She was scheduled to be in lane 4. Also a Paralympic swimmer, very, very strong. Anna Armesto in lane number 5. It's Luisa Marietta in lane number 6. And Ella Vallo from Metz in lane number 7. Exciting time of the year for these young swimmers. Again, they're all trying to get those cut times for those regional and national meets. Always special time. And, you know, a number of the youngsters, especially those 13 and 14-year-olds, they're looking to high school next year. So time for that process to go through. Local school districts, private schools, whatever they might be, all that's coming out over this weekend in the course of the next couple of weeks. A lot of decisions for these youngsters as they start to grow into young men and young women. Swimming gives them a little bit of a break. First one off the wall here at the split. Claire Luna. Claire's been strong every event that she swims. Here at the halfway point. Time to beat 2:18.55. That was by the 15-year-old Freeze. I think I mentioned all the swimmers in this one are 13-year-olds. Armesto in lane 5. She is 15 years old as well. So we've had a couple of swimmers enter at the last minute, called a deck entry. Sometimes we don't get who those swimmers are at the last minute. So my apologies. I'm going to go Ella shout out here. Folks, Kevin and I have found out, and we don't know what this phenomenon is, but if you chime in on that message board, bar none, probably 90 to 95% of the time, your swimmer comes out with a personal best in that event when you chime in, or in one of the events when they chime in. So what we're saying is, hit us with the message board. Let us know you're out there listening. We know we've got over 100 viewers right now. Don't be afraid. First one into the wall, Claire Luna, strong time with a 2:35.45 for the first time out. That is just off the double B time for Claire. Nice swim. That double B time is a 2:34.89. Second in the heat was our swimmer in lane number 1. Third in the heat goes to Vaio. Fourth goes to Wong. And then rounding things out, it'll be Armesto and Marietta in lanes number 5 and 6. All right. Well, we might have an exciting one here. This will be an interesting one. Scharf electing not to swim this one. Judkin's not in this one. Vavaza not in this one, but we've got a loaded field with Emmett Shank starting things off, the 14-year-old, and his fellow 14-year-old teammate, Ryan Lipsky, in lanes number 1 and 2. Jacob Deering, 18 years old, in lane 3, and then he's got 2 more 18-year-old Parkway teammates in Gabe Porter and Will Bonnet in lanes number 4 and 5. 16-year-old Connor Suthers, he'll be in lane 6 with Cole Smith in 7th and Jack Pfister in lane 8, just 14 and 15 years old, respectively. Top time coming in, a 1:53.21 from Porter. He's in lane 4. Bonnet, though, one of the things about Will is we know his competitiveness. Will does not like to get beat. And if he has anything to say about it, it ain't going to happen. And if he's anywhere close when it comes to that last 15 to 25 yards, good luck. Because he has the heart of a champion. We've seen it in all kinds of different meets, whether it's at the state level, swimming for Parkway West, whether it's at the regional level in the sectionals, or even at that national level in the junior nationals just a couple of weeks ago. And you know Gabe Porter, this is one of his strongest events. So he does not want to give up the crown as the top time on the team either. These two youngsters have swam together for their entire careers with the Parkway program, now seniors. And shout out to the Bonnets, Dave and Amy, two of my favorite folks around the Parkway program. They have taken the time to teach me a lot about swimming and how this thing happens. They had 2 older kids that swam in the Parkway program. They've been heavily involved. Amy has been the chaperone for a number of the national meets, and we couldn't do it without her. And of course, we talked about some of the kids being as nice as kids. I don't know that there's a more gentlemanly person that I've met than Dave Bonnet. So I want to give a shout out to them. And of course, they're always good for a story or two. And spending some time, with the kids and traveling on these national meets. Good times right now for Porter and Bonnet. I'm just kind of mesmerized watching them right now. It looks so effortless. Up there in lane number 2, looking really strong, Ryan Lipsky. Then it's Connor Suthers. Porter's going to come in. Gabe won't be his personal best, but he'll retain still the fastest at a 1:58.40, a 1:59.80 from Will Bonnet. just a little bit off his personal best. Ryan Lipsky's going to come in. I think Ryan might get a PR here. He will. He'll drop 5 seconds. Nice job, Ryan. 2:12. As we continue to watch his improvements. Fourth place in that one goes to Connor with a Southers with a 2:14, just off his previous best. Then Cole Smith, he drops 2 seconds. Rounding things out, it'll be Deering. Then Shank, 7-second drop for him. And Pfister, right on his previous best at a 2:30.31. He was a 2:30 flat previously. All right, here we go. 6 swimmers in. Matthew Gillis will be in lane number 2. It'll be Tommy Fichter in lane 3. Michael Purcell in lane 4. It's Ethan Hill in 5. Charlie Schaefer's in 6. And Matthew Sheridan is in lane number 7. Again, what are some of these youngsters trying to do? They're trying to get their personal bests. They're trying to perfect their technique. Week in and week out, their coaches talk to them about, here's the things that you need to look for. Here's the things you need to work on. And they're trying to perfect those things. You get the technique down, the speed can come. And then you get that competitive drive in some of these youngsters. And then all of a sudden, maybe they hit puberty and they grow. Or they just get more physically stronger. That has happened. We've watched that with so many of the swimmers in the Parkway program. And that is a world of difference. So don't worry about whether or not they're first when they're 11, 12, 13, 14. That can change in a matter of 2-3 months' time. Especially as they learn better technique again, and they get those yards, they get bigger, stronger, faster. It happens in swimming, folks. Middle of the pool now, we got a great race with 3, 4, and 5. That's Fichter, Purcell, and Hill. Right in behind them in lane 7 is Sheridan, then it's Schaefer, followed by Gillis. When you look at the old adage, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You look at a youngster like a Matthew Gillis, just recently turning 13. Meet his father. He's a Wisconsin farm boy, folks, and just like a Missouri farm boy, they grow up big and strong. His father, good athlete in his own right, and Matthew, once he hits that point in his growth spurt, you're going to see the same thing. That's why when you're a coach, you look at him, and you're a parent, you look at that and say, you know what? We got something here. So perfect that technique and keep them interested. That's the other thing. Make this fun. You know, get those friendships and those bonds so they want to keep coming back. And you can see that magic start to happen really quick. Well, we got 4 swimmers. They all stayed right in with each other. It's Fichter, Purcell, Hill, and Sheridan. Then you got Schaefer, and then Gillis. Previous best time in this one coming in was a 2:31.02 from Purcell. I think he's good looking to be right on that. First one in, though, it's going to be Tommy Fichter, and he's going to shatter his previous best. Tommy will hit a 2:27.40. Then it is Hill with a 2:29.37. Ethan gets a personal best. Then a 2:29.99 for Purcell, personal best. 2:31 for Sheridan, and that's a personal best for him by over a half a second. Schaefer with a 2:38.20, just off his previous best. And Gillis will round things out. It looks like he's going to get a personal best as well as he comes in, and he does, 2:56. Great job there as he drops 3 seconds off his, actually 2:55.75. So that is a 4-second, 4.04 to be exact for him. So almost every one of those swimmers, they must have got some shout-outs on that message board, would be my bet, because they all dropped. All right. 2 swimmers around things out here. It's Edward Norton in lane number 3, and it's Chris Hankins in lane number 5. Norton, the 13-year-old. McBride, the 15-year-old.
This is the final heat for event number 14. Event number 15, girls 13 and over, 100-yard butterfly is next.
I believe Purcell's time was a double B time as well. I didn't get a chance to write it down. They took it off the scoreboard too quick, but a great time for him. That's a tough event, so you get to turn around. And again, that's one of those 4. It's one of the 4 hardest strokes, that backstroke, because you're upside down for 200 yards. As one veteran swimmer told me one time, you can take your pick. Do you want to swim at are you okay with staring at the ceiling while you're swimming, or are you okay at staring at a black line at the bottom of the pool? for the entire event. And some swimmers are very comfortable with this. Good technique now by Chris Hankins, lane number 5. Edward Norton looking very good as well. Next event after this one is that 100-yard butterfly. And then we'll round things out with this early event with that 500 free. We'll have 2 heats for the girls and 3 for the boys. Like, share, subscribe, folks. We want you to do that right here on our Parkway Swimming Network. Boost up those numbers for us. Hankins with a little bit of a lead right now over Norton. As he comes to mid-pool on this final length. Both these young men will likely break 3 minutes first time out, so that's pretty good. 2:55.42 for Hankins, 2:57.88 for Norton. Nice job, gentlemen. Okay, 3 heats now. 100-yard butterfly will go to the young ladies here. 8 strong in this particular heat. It's Maddie Stoner in lane number 1. It's Natalie Gronberg in 2. Ava Assinger's in 3. Shelby Bouchon, she's been strong all morning. She's in lane 4. Ellie Green is in 5. Danny Hume is in 6. In lane 7, you got Lily Driscoll. And rounding things out, it'll be Paige Blom in lane number 8. A couple of 3 13-year-olds in Blom, Hume, and Gronberg. A couple of 14-year-olds with Driscoll, Green, and Stoner. And then Assinger and Bouchon, the 17-year-olds. Shelby right now front running here in this one. Right in her hip pocket is Ellie Green. Shelby's going to come back. She's trying to beat her previous best time of a 1:00.76. She's got an opportunity to do it, but she's going to have to go get it. She digs in now. Not quite going to beat her personal best. She was trying to go well under a minute, but nice time for her, though. In a 1:04.15. 1:08.77 for Green. That's just off her previous best time. And Bunny Gronberg chimes in, go Natalie. And Natalie did pretty well there, coming in 5th place with a 1:19.18. Just off her previous best. 3rd place in that was Assinger. 4th place was Hume. And then rounding things out, we mentioned Gronberg. It was Blom, Driscoll, and Stoner. Six swimmers in now, lanes 1 through 6. Gabby Gastrich is in lane 1. It's Louisa Marietta in lane 2. Lindsay Wong in lane 3. It's Carly Keski in 4. And Didi Deo in lane number 5. Or excuse me. And then lane number 6 is Leah Bledsoe. So my apologies. We have 6 swimmers. I think I said 5. No one in lane 7 or 8. At the halfway point, first one touching now, Carly Keski. Keski, a 14-year-old from Parkway at a 1:19.62. This is her previous best. She'd love to dip down 9 seconds to see if she can't get that double B cut. That double B cut is a 1:10.89. That's what these youngsters are shooting for. All these are in the 13 and 14 age group. Keski's the 14-year-old. All the rest are 13. And she's got an opportunity to do it. If she goes and gets it, I don't think she's going to quite make it. Slows down a little bit coming in. She'll hit about a 121. In fact, she will hit at a 121.51. Second place goes to Deo, then Wong. Rounding things out will be Marietta, then Bledsoe and Gastrich. Might have a couple of drops in there. Time clock switched over rather quickly. Okay. Just two swimmers here in this one. It's Grace Ortle from Metz in lane number 3 and Magana Hebar in lane number 4. Both 14 years old. 4 heats for the boys after this one. Ortle does not have a previously established time right now. And see at the bottom of your screen in the blue shirt, it's her coach, Bob Ruddle. He's really pacing right now, trying to will her in. No, she has the capabilities to get that 110.89, that first split, right on the mark at a 33. Well within time frame now. She hits that one in under 50. She's got to come back in under 20 seconds. She should be able to do that as strong as she's looking. Also looking good in there is Hebar. She came in with a 130.29. She's got an opportunity to really shatter that. And coming in, this may be an A time. Does she get the A time for Ortle? And she'll hit the A time. 105.10. That A time was a 105.49. Way to go, Grace. Hebar now coming in. She'd love to go under her previous best of a 130. Looks like she's got an opportunity to do it. Come on. Magana, get in there, and she will beat her previous best. Nice job. 130.139. Okay, here we go now. This should be a fast one. Expect this to be somewhere in the definitely 55s and unders. Full house now with 8 swimmers. It's Vincent Hager in lane 1. We know he can go low. Comes in with a 56.20. It's Callum Shank in lane 2 with Jack Favaza in lane 3. Expect him to compete in this one. It's Judkins in 4 with Bonnet in 5 and Jacob Deering in 6. Colin Schaefer's in lane 7 and Grayson Mueller's in lane 8. Don't sleep on C Money in lane 7, but right now it should be the middle of the pool with Judkins and Bonnet. This is Judkins' specialty event. Bonnet, of course, more of a breaststroker, so Judkins wants to maintain. He'll touch this one at 38. Bonnet right in his hip pocket. Don't sleep on Bonnet with his underwater, though. Look at this one. Tremendous from Will. He's right in Judkins' hip pocket. Judkins now trying to stretch it out. See if he can't go under 52 or 53, and he's going to go 52.03. Not his personal best. His personal best goes down into the 49 lows, but not bad for not having swam this in 2 months' time. So 52.03 from Judkins, 53.38 from Bonnet. Nice time from Will, just off his personal best. Vaza comes out at 55.96, and then rounding things out, it will be Schaefer with a 57.16. Mueller, Hager, Hank, and then Shank, and then Deering. All right, Cole Smith is in lane 1. Connor Moran is in lane 2. It's Andrew Hebner in lane 3. Carter Crook in lane 4. It's Connor Suthers. He could go low in this one. So could Crook. All 3 of them with Hebner is in lane 3 looking strong. Will Cottle is in lane number 6. Ryan Lipsky's in 7th. And Jeremiah Kinning in lane 8. Jeremiah looking really good in lane 8 right now. In fact, he's got the fastest split at a 26.92. If he can keep that pace up, he's right in line with the best time for Judkins. Come on, Jeremiah, pick it up just a little bit. You got Crook and Hebner right in there as well in 3 and 4. Well, this one's going to come right down to it, folks. Halfway through the pool, and it's Hebner and Koenig. Who's going to get this one? I don't even know if they can see each other. Looks right now like it might be Hebner. Is it going to be Hebner? Is it going to be Koenig? It'll be Koenig will come in. Will he come in at his final time? It's a 58.54, followed by Hebner with a 58.64. Then it's Crook. 0060 or 71, and rounding things out, it'll be Moran. Nice time for him with a 101.76. That is definitely a double B time for him, just off the A time. And then you are looking at Suthers, Cottle, Lipsky, and Smith. No swimmer in lane 2 or 7. It'll be Charlie Schaefer in lane 1, Zidane Riza in lane 3. It's Matty Peretz in lane 4, Emmett Shank in lane 5, William Chen in 6, and Johnny Laird in lane number 8. First split to the wall, nice time of a 29:17 for William Chen. Chen, the 15-year-old. Shank right in there with him as well. In lane 5. Peretz had the previous best time, although, he's not here either, so I didn't even notice that. My apologies, folks. Yeah, I'm all out of whack here. There is somebody in lane 1. Charlie Schaefer's in 1. Nobody, okay. Yep, all right. I got it sorted. Back down to the wall now. Chen, first one in, followed right in close behind by Shank, and then Riza. Chen will come in at a 102.35, 103.56. That'll, for Shank, that is good enough for a BB time. The Shank did not have that, so he gets the qualifier. Way to go, Emmett. Nice job. Riza's in third place with a 104.98. He also did not have it, but does now. Then Schaefer at a 113. Rounding things out, it'll be Laird, 120. Final heat here before we go to the distance events. Matthew Gillis is in lane 3. Well, I believe that's Cooper Scharf that decided I'm going to jump in and not let Judkins win in lane 2. Jason Deering in 4. It's Jun Ju in lane 5. Howard Kinn in lane 6. And there's somebody in lane 7. Not sure who that is. Scharf right now comes out at a 24:47. Sorry, Judkins, but your time is not going to hold up. Fastest butterflyer in the state. He holds the state high school record at the state championships. He broke that this last fall, a record that many thought may not fall until Judkins gets to be a senior in a couple of years' time. He's got 10 seconds to get back into the wall. I don't think it's going to take him that long. Cooper Scharf decide, well, you know what, I'm going to go out and leisurely swim this and win the event, I think. It's going to be close. 52-17. Judkins just barely out-touches him. Well, that's the camaraderie of a couple of teammates, but Scharf, well, I was walking off the street trying and swim it, and just, I'll win it. Almost does. Nice job, Cooper. Way to give him a run for the money. Second place goes to Deering in that heat. Deering came in with a 123.54. He beats that by 8 seconds. The other swimmers all trying to establish their first time out. 117 by June. That's a nice time for him. Gillis is going to come in with a good time of just around 130, 130.91 to be exact. And then Howard Kinn in lane 6. All right, folks, we're going to have a 5-minute break right now before we get to this 500-yard freestyle, and then we're going to have 2 heats for the girls and 3 heats for the boys. So we hope you've enjoyed it so far. We're going to take a quick break here from the broadcast. Be sure to go grab a snack, come back, and watch some more great, exciting swimming right here from the Parkway Freeze Invite on the Parkway YouTube network. Welcome back to the Parkway Freeze Invite here as we get set for the final two events of our morning session. The 13 and overs. This is the 500-yard freestyle. We'll have two heats for the young ladies. All 8 in on this one. It'll be Ellie Green in lane 2. It's Vienna Schindler in lane 2. Ellie Green in 1. Vienna Schindler in 2. Sadie Kulemis, I hope I pronounced that correctly, is in lane 3. Chime in if we made that correct for you. Sydney Matheny's in lane 4. Carissa Osborne is in lane 5. It's Claire Paul in lane number 6. Sophia Schmidt in lane 7. And Emma McCourt in lane number 8. So a couple of swimmers from Metz. They're in the middle of the pool. That's Carissa and Claire. Of course, Chris's mom, she's down there, one of the coaches for the Metz program. Her older brother, Cohen, also one of the star swimmers in the Midwest and throughout the country. Real big time, especially in the backstroke and the butterfly. She has turned into quite a nice swimmer as well. Should give a shout out to her parents also. But they're right in the middle right now. Lane number 4, though, Sydney Matheny, she is front running. This is a good event for Sydney. Always strong in this one. Sydney trying to get those qualifiers now. She wants those ISCA qualifiers. She's aged up to 13, but she's been a real stalwart for the Parkway program. She continues to improve meet in and meet out. Sadie in lane 3 right now, slightly ahead of Sydney, but you're starting to get that diagonal line. Sadie, Sydney, Carissa, and Claire. Going to go up to lane number 1, top of your screen with Green, followed by Schindler, Sophie Schmidt, and Emma McCourt. Again, you know, you get into these meets, parents unable to be here, and you're saying, well, what are those youngsters doing there on the bulkhead to the left side of your screen? Well, they're helping the swimmers count laps. It takes 20 laps to complete that 500, so they'll flip that card, and on their last turn, it'll be a red square or an orange square, depending on where you're at, so that the swimmer knows. You'll also hear a bell as it comes close to that. Right now, starting to stretch it out a little bit. Sadie Kulemis, 5:39.04 is her previous top time. Matheny's top time was a 5:24.86. 5:20.39 in this age group, though. That is the AAA cut that she, of course, wants to get back into. That'll get her into that ISCA event also, I believe. I think the ISCA event might be a little bit not quite as tough as that one. Chris Osborne would love to get as well. That's her mother down there counting for her. Strong swim right now across the board. Over halfway through. Here again, this event, it takes anywhere from about 5.5, 6.5 minutes. Sadie's a 14-year-old. She's in lane 3 right now. And again, not sure when she turns 15, but if it's after mid-August, she can get to that zones as well. She's got good pace going on. Good split for her. 34.43 on that last one. 34.18 for Osborne. 34.89. All these swimmers staying right in that range. That's where they need to be. Red shirt to the back of your screen at the bottom. That's head age group coach Chris Etherington cheering his swimmers on. "16-year-old in this one is Claire Paul. She'd love to hit on that sectional cut. And again, the national sectional cut, that's a 5:05.09. She came in with a 5:44. She'll have to drop tremendously, but right now we got speed. It's in the middle of the pool. Kulemis looking really strong. She'll just have one more to go after this. But Osborne coming on strong. Looking to be very fast in her last 50, and right now she looks like she has the attitude to go out and get it. But did Sadie save a little bit as well for this last lap? And what does Sydney have left? They all came back in nice splits around 34. Sydney starting to pick up her pace. And right now, holding her off is Sydney Kulemis. Osborne now, here we go, it's right down to it. It's always fun when these big long races come right down to the end. Osborne and Kulemis, it's lanes number 5 and 3. Who will be the first one to the wall? Coming in, and it's gonna be Carissa Osborne. Comes back with a blazing 31.61 on that last lap. She'll get first place with a 5:34.45. What a time for her. That is underneath the double A time of a 5:34.99, 5:37 or 5:35.20. Great time as well for Kulemis. Not quite, it is a best time. Athene not on her best time. She's rounding back into shape right now, but a good time for her, 5:37.91. Fourth place goes to Paul, 5:46.66. Right on, just a little above her previous best. Then it's Schindler, 5:59.5. Green, and rounding things out, it'll be Schmidt and then McCourt at the bottom of your screen. All right, we got heat number 2. We got 4 swimmers here in this one. 2 of them have previous recorded times. 2 of them do not. 15-year-old Ana Armesto is in lane number 3 from Parkway, and her fellow teammates, all 13 years old. Cecilia Hoganson, Clara Luna, and Therese Bathgate in lanes 4, 5, and 6. Clara has been very strong in all of her events so far here this weekend, dropping time, and so, well, we'll see how she does. She came in with a 7:17.56. Let's see what her pace is coming off of this first heat, and then if she's able to maintain it. Swimmers typically go out that first lap, will be one of their fastest, and then they'll settle into a pace in this 500. We'll have 3 heats of the young men following this one. So 38.19 on that last one for Hoganson. Luna at a 42.07. That would, if she keeps up that pace, she will finish well ahead of her previous. Don't forget now, we got a full day of swimming tomorrow. A little earlier starting time. Everybody's going to want to get home and watch NFL. I know the Rams are no longer around, and I'll be rooting against them tomorrow. Still haven't figured out all my allegiances yet, but it is that time of the year for the NFL, so it'd be good to watch some of that on a cold St. Louis day and watch some swimming first. Tune in a little bit. You can actually do dual. Put your computer on one side or your phone. You get your television on the other. Bowl of chips and a snack, and you'll be set for the day. Now, I will not be here for commentating here in the afternoon session today. Got some family stuff to take care of, but back tomorrow for both sessions. So if you have swimmers that'll be in tomorrow, make sure you send me their info so I can mention that right here on the air. Front running still right now. Lane number 4 is Hoganson, followed by Luna, then Armesto and Bathgate. To get a note from the Bathgates. across the Atlantic. Want to mention them one more time. And international viewers. And almost every time that we've done this, we've had some folks from overseas chime in, whether it's a grandma and grandpa, aunt, uncle, maybe a brother or sister that's studying abroad. We've had that before. Or a parent that's traveling out of the country. That's what we're able to bring you on the World Wide Web with the Parkway YouTube channel. Makes it especially nice for the folks when they can't be here. COVID keeps us out of the venue sometimes, but I think we'd all agree we'd rather see our kids in here and be able to watch via the live stream than to not have them be able to compete at all. We went through that in the spring of 2020 and for part of the summer and then into the fall. So we'd like to see them at least back in the pool, and if that's what it takes, I think most parents would say we're willing to do it. And of course, the ones who are here volunteering, we want to thank all of them as well. Ruth Price, she's our meet director for Parkway. She does a phenomenal job, and give a shout out to her. Puts all this together, gets all the volunteers, and we are fully stacked. But you know what, folks, if you want to volunteer for one of the upcoming meets that Parkway's hosting, make sure you get to know Ruth. Come, stop by and say hello, more than just at the table. And she's pretty excited right now as well. I'll give a shout out to all the girls in the Parkway program swimming at the high school level. They've got conference and then state coming up, and you're going to see the Parkway Swim Club well represented. And you can tune into that state meet. I'll give a little promo on the Misha.TV network. That'll be President's Day weekend. Thursday and Friday will be Class 1, and Friday and Saturday will be Class 2. Swimming and diving state championships for the young ladies. Parkway be well represented, that's for sure. All the different various high schools around the area. You can see some of the top swimmers in the country competing in that event, including Parkway's own Kylie Sullivan, who's here spectating today. Elena Hennig, both swimming for Parkway South, trying to get their team title. Should be a good one. Carly Schaefer, part of that. Lucy Price, Mia Muckerman, Logan Nohoff, all very strong team they've got. They're going to take it. Parkway West will be very strong in Class 1. Team right here in Kirkwood, they will be very good. They've got a number of Parkway swimmers. Looks like we're on the final lap. We didn't get a bell on that one. A lot of cheering going on for these young ladies. But she's on her final length of the pool now. It's Hoganson. Again, came in at a 6:46. I think she's going to beat that. Luna should beat her previous best time as well. She came in with a 7:17. I think she may go under 7. And there it is, Hoganson. She's going to shave off 10 seconds or so from her previous best. She does. 6:35.72. Luna looking really strong now. She tries to come for the home stretch. She wants to go under 7, getting that 6 range. I think she's going to do it, folks. She will hit the wall at a 6:58. Let's see what that official time is. Nice strong. 36 on that last split. 6:57.96. So she drops almost 20 seconds off her previous best time. 4th place. Then it's Armesto in lane number 3. She gets 3rd place. They did not register a time, probably a soft touch. And then Bathgate will round things out. It'll be a nice, strong swim for her. Both Armesto and Bathgate swimming this for the first time. This can be an intimidating event doing it for the first time because you look at it and you've got to go 20 lengths of the pool. And that is nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure. Congratulations to those young ladies. And again, sometimes just getting through that event alone is the tough one. $7:49.15 for Therese, so nice job for her. Hoganson, in fact, she got a beat time on her first time out, so that's not bad. She'll be trying to get that double beat time next time around. All right. Here come the young men. Age range here, 15, 16, 17, and 18. It's Matthew Sheridan in lane 1, Bennett Christopherson in lane 2. It's Andrew Hebner in lane 3, and Gabe Porter, the fastest prelim, at a 4:44.90 in lane 4. Matthew Judkins is in 5. Grayson Mueller's in lane 6. It's Jack Favazza in 7th, and Will Cottle in lane number 8. Class of this event will be Porter. Porter comes in preliminarily 11 seconds ahead of the next best competitor. That is Judkins. Then followed closely behind by Hebner. Judkins talking this morning, wants to just stay in his hip pocket to the last length, but what we've noticed about Porter over the course of his ability to swim this event is he will stretch it out. He will just quietly and slowly do it. Gabe competes, of course, in this one at the regional level, state level from a high school standpoint. .442.79 is the time they want to try and hit. I believe that's the sectional cut. That's the national cut. 4:45.39, that is the ISCA cut. We'll see what their splits are when they come off the wall now as Porter starts to stretch it out a little bit. I think Judkins needs to be a little bit closer if he wants to have a chance to even come close. His underwaters are going to have to be very strong, and those aren't probably as strong as he needs to be right there. That last split for Porter was a 124. Judkins at a 127. I think that's going to probably need to get a little bit tighter than that for both of them. Gabe came in at 4:44.90. He can go in the 4:30s. Wants to be under 30. He's at a 30-33. Judkins will probably be around a 32, 31-36. So that's not bad for him in terms of his split. Favazza with a nice one, lane 7. He was at a 30-39, so faster than Judkins and faster than Hebner in lane 3. Mueller holding in there too in lane number 6. Got to believe that Favazza has not swam this event in quite some time. His previous best at a 5:13.73. I'm gonna lay money that he will go under 5 minutes in his event here. Porter still holding under 31. Judkins at a 31.02. Favazza under 31. So Jack is tightening things up against Judkins. Porter starts to stretch it out now, about 2 body lengths ahead of Judkins. Favazza closing in on Judkins now. He's well within touching distance. Judkins finally had a little faster split than Jack, and Porter looks very smooth, very strong all the way through. And I like to hear the approach of what's their attitude, how is their body language in the water, are they calm, are they quiet, are they giving 100%? Right now, Porter looks very, very poised. Sometimes it's about that underwater. How are you coming up out of the water? You watch this underwater from Gabe Porter now as he flips, touches, gets underneath, comes up, gets that extra kick, and then he's ready to pump it when he comes to the top of the water. Judkins does it there as well. Favazza very streamlined in lane 7. Let's see what these splits are for these young men here as they come off the wall. Porter looks like he's picking it up a little bit. 30-39 for Gabe. 30-27 for Judkins, so he was a little faster in that last split. 30-60 for Favazza, but all three of them looking really strong. Seventeenth time, they're going to touch the wall and come back. You know, in short course, a third of your time is spent under the water, coming off of the wall. So those turns are very, very important. Let's see if Porter doesn't kick it into gear now. 30-27 on that last split. Judkins now, 30-95, slowed down a little bit. Favazza, 30-64, so he's picked it up. And Jack is going to go down and try and chase down Judkins, but definitely Porter has picked it up. There is no doubt about it, folks. Gabe Porter will not get his personal best, nor will Judkins. Favazza very well made, though. Gabe will stay under 5 minutes. Judkins will stay under 5 minutes. Favazza will get very close to it. Big drop for Jack, so 4:57.12, 4:59.62, 5:02.49 for Jack Favazza. He drops 11 seconds. Fourth place goes to Hebner at a 5:11. Fifth place to Grayson at a 5:15. So Grayson Mueller, a lot of ads there in that one, but except for Favazza, who really came out strong. Bennett Christopherson comes in at a 5:23.17, or 77, excuse me. Will Cottle, he'll take seventh in the heat, right on his previous best time, just about a second off, less than a second off, and then Sheridan will round things out in lane number 1. All right, Elliott Bland will be in lane number 1. It'll be Harry Pendleton in lane 2. It's Tommy Fichter in 3, Andy Assinger in 4, Ethan Hill in 5, Daniel Lansbaum is in 6, Zidane Riza in lane number 7, and Michael Purcell in lane number 8. Riza can be strong in this event. We've seen this young man be very strong in freestyle. Right now, he's right in there with Assinger. Andy is a 15-year-old. He's in lane 4. 14-year-olds are Pendleton, Hill, Lansbaum, and Riza, and then the 13-year-olds Bland, Fichter, and Purcell. Now, those 13 and 14-year-olds, they could still be vying for that double B time. Double B time is a 5:58.99. Given the splits right now, I don't think anybody's going to sniff that AAA time of a 5:03.79. They need to be around 30-second splits. We'll see what Reese's about a 32.95 and Assinger a 32.80. So not going to be quick enough unless they got a really strong back half. But both of these two front runners kind of stroke for stroke with each other. Riza's taken out just a little bit now, 33.21, 33.89. Third place right now coming in lane number 6. That'll be Lansbaum. Followed by Hill, then Fichter, Pendleton, Purcell, and Bland. Purcell and Bland, and Fichter, those are the 13-year-olds in this one. When you're 13 and 14 years old, this is an endurance event. When you get over the 15 and overs, it becomes a sprint. Who can really hold that sprint? And that is tough to do. Mentally, you have to be very strong. Over halfway done now in this event. It looks like Assinger is slightly pulled ahead of Riza. They're going to kind of jockey back and forth. They're just right in there shoulder to shoulder. 33.65, 34.12. Those are the splits on the last one. Third place in this one, Daniel Lansbaum continues to hold that position. With fourth place going to Hill. Fichter, Pendleton, Purcell, and Bland. We got one more heat after this one. Yeah, so maybe he's got about maybe slightly more than an arm's length lead that he had earlier. Really, when it gets down to those last 2 laps, it's going to be who has the most left in the tank. 2 more to go for the 2 front runners. And right now, I want to tell you what, Assinger looks really strong off of his underwater. Good streamline after that push off the wall. We'll look at their splits here too as the 2 front runners come down to the wall. 34.25, 34.06, so Riza's made up just a little bit of ground. They'll get the orange square now. They come back for their last length of the pool. The question is, can Riza catch him? He's trying to close the gap. Is there enough pool left? It's going to be about this underwater, and if he has a strong one, he'll get him, and he doesn't quite have enough, and it looks like Assinger's going to pull away slightly here. Andy with a really strong swim. He's going to come way ahead of his previous best time. He came in at a 5:47.06. 5:27.60. 20 seconds faster than his previous 5:29.36 for Riza. Big time improvement for him. 45 seconds. So congratulations to those two. And that 5:29 for Zidane, that is an A time. Congratulations for that young man. Landsbaum's going to grab 3rd place. Did he get that double B time at a 5:57.35? He does. Nice job for Nathan. And then, or Daniel, excuse me. 5:57.55 for Hill also gets him under the wire. 5th place goes to Fichter. 6th place to Purcell. Then Pendleton and Bland. So got a couple of achievements there. Way to go, young men. All right, final heat of this session. Lane number 2 will be Edward Norton. Gavin Joyner in lane 3. Tyler Matheny is in lane 4. It's Lucas Day in lane 5. And Daniel Kuhlman in lane number 6. 4 Parkway swimmers, and then Kuhlman is from U-City. Fastest time coming in, a 6:22.57. That's by Matheny. Tyler's in the middle of the pool. Chronicled him earlier. And Ryan, if you're out there, send us a note. Let us know what some of those time cuts that Tyler's trying to achieve. This is one of his good events. He wants to get that state cut for next year at the high school level, but also one of the top Paralympians. Competes in track and field events as well as in swimming. I still think this is one of my favorite stories of my years being involved in the Parkway program. And again, there's not a more genuinely nice young man than Tyler. Now remember, folks, won't have a chance to be with you here this afternoon, but we'll be right back on for both sessions tomorrow. Quick note to pass along, folks. If your swimmer is swimming in the distance events tomorrow, so for the 13 and overs, that's the 1650, that's the mile, they will need to have their own personal timer and counter. So they need multiple people. If your swimmer's in the 12 and under 500 at the end of the session tomorrow, they will also need their own personal counter, and timer. You will be allowed, if you're going to come from out of the meet, could be another swimmer, could be a parent, could be a brother, sister, you will be allowed to come into the venue, sit up here in the bleachers prior to those events. So if you want to come out and watch, great, do that. If you're already here volunteering, you're going to stick around, awesome, but want to pass along that announcement from Ruth Price if you're out there listening. Or if you just want to volunteer and help out one of the kids, that's great. Lucas Day, 39.08 on his last split. Mathenia, 38.19 on his split. Hanging right in there with each other, just a little over a second apart. You see them right there in the middle of the pool, lanes 5 and 4 respectively. They're a little over halfway through this race. All these youngsters typically like to have a strategy where they say, we want to be at this pace on our 50 split for this many laps, and then in the middle they have a different pace, and then at the end they really want to kick it in. That's typically how a lot of these strategies go. Now, I am not a distance swimmer. I'm not even much of a swimmer, so I don't really know how all that gets calculated, but they know what their body can do and where they want to push themselves and what parts of the event they want to punch it up just a little bit. Again, with this split right now for Lucas Day, he's got an opportunity to get that double B time, that's for sure. Matheny also hanging right in there. Tyler with a 6:22.57. He's ahead of that pace right now, I believe. Still holding in there with those splits. 38.7s. Five lengths of the pool to go for the front two, Day and Matheny. Kuhlman's in third place. Comes off the wall. 39s and 38s. Those are the splits there. Matheny closed the gap slightly. Fourth place is Joyner. And then Norton will round things out in lane 2. I will say one thing about Day. You watch his body language. He is very, very poised, very calm in the water. Likes to stride out. He's long and lean. Smooth stroke. Last one is they're going to get that red square here. Won't quite get that double B time. Matheny, though, has an opportunity to get under his previous best. Let's see if Big Ty can do that. Come on. Let's get in there. 20 seconds to do it. First one into the wall. It's going to be Day. He'll have an established time of a 6:12, I believe. Tyler is going to beat his previous best. 6:11.65 for Lucas Day. Nice job there. And Tyler Matheny, he shaved 6 seconds off his previous best. He comes in at a 6:16.79. Nice job for that young man. Always proof that good guys can finish first. And that's what you want to do. You want to just improve on what you've done previously. Next one into the wall here. Looks like it's going to be getting the red square. Lane 6, Kuhlman. We've got a race at the top of the screen for two youngsters, Norton and Joyner, that have not gotten an established time yet. They're going to come right down to it. Nice job by Kuhlman. Young Daniel will come in at a 7:04.88. And it looks like it will be Norton with a 7:20.59, followed by Joyner with a 7:24.78. Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast here this morning. We're going to take a break here for just a little while. They'll have warm-ups. Kevin Girth will bring you all the action here, the video stream, the live stream for the youngsters, the 12 and unders. Be sure to join us for that one. If you're only interested in the older kids, the 13 and over, join us back here tomorrow morning. Check that meet schedule. But we'll bring you all the action here. I'm going to sign off for today. We want to thank Kevin Girth. We thank Ruth Price, the meet director, John David, the head coach, and all the coaches, all the officials, and all the volunteers for allowing us to bring you this action. Until the next one, so long for just a while.